It's time for the show that engages with people of the combat sports world. And now, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed combat sports show champion of the world, Flash Knockdown.
So then, now let's look at the fights versus Justin Flannigan at Pro Bellum, which was exactly a year ago. Yeah. You seemed determined to show everyone that you weren't just a grappler, but someone who could strike too. How satisfied were you with your work on the feet that evening?
This was one of my favourite performances, because, like, another thing with the records, like, if you watch Justin Flannigan, you watch his fights, he's a top-level fighter. His record might not show it, but if he was more active, he'd definitely be up there. His gym is one of the best gyms in the UK, like, probably top 3 as well, at higher level. Their coaching team, and that's good. So, like, I know how good he is because I went off from fighting him. So when I can look back and see the performance, because he's like a good level striker, he's a striker as well. Everyone come into that fight thinking I was a grappler, and most of the fight was on the feet, and I managed to get the win. So I was made up with that. It was a good fight as well.
Yeah, it was good. And seeing your face on the big screen, how sick was that?
Loved it.
It was good, isn't it? We're gonna run this town tonight.
The atmosphere is always, anytime I fight in it, I've fought there a few times, the atmosphere is always boss there.
It was good. Yeah, very nice. Wow. And then you also proved that you could take some shots. How much confidence did you take from that?
Yeah, I like that fight, like, I kind of like just, like some of my camps last year, I look back and think I didn't deserve to win them because I was like partying that in between camps. I've stopped all of that now, like, and being like serious about it, but like I went in with kind of a thing like I probably don't deserve to win this anyway, just gotta go in and go for it, and that's what I did that night. I weren't bothered about like say I felt solid when I was getting kicked and stuff like that, like stuff was bouncing off me. He hit hard. I remember I think when I come out from that fight I had massive lumps on my arms. Thought I broke both my arms because like I had big massive coggies on them. But like, yeah, I learned so I can take a shot from that because that's again he was a proper man. I was 17 I think I was 17 at the time, and he was like, probably I think he was late 20s. You know what I mean? So it's like the same again. It's man versus boy, and I'm taking a fully grown man shot. I didn't get hurt, nothing like that. So it was good confidence boost, which I needed for my next 2 fights as well, because I fought 2 knockout artists and no one out after that. So it was nice to have that thing. Like I know I can take a shot.
Definitely. And a rather unusual event happened at the start of the first round in that the lights went off. So the fight had to be stopped for a moment. Did that impact your flow or concentration at all, Liam? No,
like once I'm in them, like I'm good at stuff like that, like keeping my head in it. Like once I'm in there, like I'm on it, I can switch on. I remember they went off and I didn't know what had happened. I don't think he did. No one did. Like, I know, like we didn't. I don't think we noticed that the lights were off though. Because from where we was, it didn't really change much. So I didn't know what had happened. I was like, have I done something here? Something happened. I started panicking, and then when I realised that it was the lights, and then we just looked like it was like a minute went by. I started going cold. I just looked at the record like we can see each other, can't we? And then he gave me a little laugh. It was good fun, that fight. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And then Jake Grundy, before that particular fight, Liam, he gave you some advice, which you literally took on with 30 seconds to go. And that was to bite down on your gum shields, chin down and swing. Seemed like you're having a lot of fun at the end. Yeah. Talk us through that.
He's a fighter, isn't he? So I've got to just, what he says goes. If he tells me to do that, then I'm swinging. But like I said before, that fight, like, I enjoyed that in the moment. Like, that was probably the most I've enjoyed the fight when I'm in there. Like, I was having fun whilst I was fighting. So I was 2 rounds up as well in my head, and on the judge scorecard, so I was. But I don't know what happened. I just thought, I'm enjoying this. Let's just do it. That's 30
Would you
seconds.
Do that again?
Yeah, when at the right time. Now, like I remember when I fought Corey Fry, which we'll probably get onto in a sec. I was 4 rounds up then, and he's like known for knocking people out. And I remember there was like 20 seconds left. I basically had the fight won. And he looked at me and pointed down, so I was like, go on, and then took him down. Like that. But yeah, at the right time, yeah. There's a time or place for it, isn't there? But you'll feel like yourself. Like sometimes you just feel like I'm not. There's nothing that's gonna stop me now. Don't know what I mean? Like if you take a shot, sometimes you feel like invincible when you're fighting. But there's other times as well like that where I thought this is not worth the risk.
Sure. Not sure if you remember.
In the moments it felt right.
Yeah, no, it did feel right, and it looked bloody good. One of those moments you can look back. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and it's one of those moments you can look back on and say, "Look at me, I'm a badass." But it reminded me of Max Holloway versus Ricardo Lamas at UFC 199.
Yeah, I'm seeing that one. Yeah.
Yeah, the last 10 seconds where they both like Max was like, "Let's go now."
Yeah, because we were talking a bit through the fight and that, and then in the last round as well, shot. Ended up on my back, like he stood up, and I was telling him, come here. Yeah, you did. Come here. Yeah. He put the finger up to me, and put the finger up back. And then when I stood up, then that was when I was like, started feeling like, this is good fun, this. And then I remember he booted me, and it proper foot to the elbow, and I know how much that hurt. So I just looked at him, pointed at him, and was like, that hurt that. Yeah. And then we just started speaking a little bit, and then it's just like, come on, that's last 10, let's go.
Brilliant. Love that. Amazing. Lucky you. And then finally, let's take a look at your matchup with an experienced and dangerous Corey Fry, who's obviously a good friend of yours now, for the UKFC featherweight strap, which you've since gone on to defend. Yeah. A man who has a reputation of finishing fights, and no better example than his previous one at UKFC 11, where he ended it with a head kick knockout. To nullify that, the game plan seemed to be to close the distance immediately, take him down, and then control him on the ground. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Well, like, I knew Corey, but like going into that fight anyway, and like I remember it like when I was, he'd had that UKFC title for ages when I was still fighting like flyweight and bantamweight. I remember watching his fights. So and he's Zach Fry's brother as well, isn't he? So like I'd fought his little brother and things like that. So it was like a good bit of a story going into it. And yeah, that last fight where he knocked that fella out, I was watching that because Marlon was fighting. I remember watching like serious knockout that. I've like haven't seen with him now though. Like he's like a high level striker. So like yeah, the game plan was to. I didn't go in no thing. I'm just gonna take him down. But in the moment, like I said, what feels right, I'll do. I'm skilled. Like as you seen in the fight, I was skilled enough to strike with him. Still, there was moments where it was on the feet and I weren't getting lit up, and a lot of the exchanges, it was 50-50. I'd win an exchange, he'd win an exchange. But yeah, like when it's not just about playing to my strengths, it's about playing to their weaknesses. So as like at the first round, I took him down and just controlled it, rid it out on the back, and was like, I've got a big advantage in the grappling. So I went to that the next 2 rounds, but then the 4th and 5th, once it was like a bit slippy and both of us were tired, then that's when it was more of a fight then. The last 2 rounds, I had to dig deep them rounds. Got hurt a little bit in the last round as well. Like, you can watch his fight. He's probably one of like the hardest. He's got like scary power. Like when he hits you, you feel it. And he's knocked a lot of people out as well. I think he's obviously got that confidence as well. When you do that to people, like he knows he can do that. So in the 5th round, I remember like
we're just waiting for the moment where McCraken sees that opportunity.
Oh, and he's caught him twice there, and now McCraken shoots in
on the takedown.
He done like a little lay-back backhand and caught me and bounced off the cage, and just like as I bounced off a shot and got him down. But little moments like that, like I can look back on that, like other people might have crumbled. He might have took that shot and it's hurt them and being like curled up in a ball. You know what I mean? But I was desperate to win that fight, so I was stuck in there and seeing it through. They're just like little lessons that I've got with me now. So when I'm fighting, you know what I mean? Like I know I've been in them places before. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Lucky jar, as Ben Crawley would say.
Lucky jar, yeah. Creepy Crawley.
Ghost Goggins.
David Goggins talking about it, of the cookie jar, of where it's all of the achievements that you've obviously achieved in the past, and you put them all into this cookie jar, and you can't see what's inside it. So when you're out or you're in difficult times, no matter how they relate, so it might be like, okay, I'm struggling on a 10-mile run today. So you dip in and you pull out, okay, I've run a marathon before, so I know that I've still got this in me.
And then prior to the fight, he told Brian Lacey that he felt his experience and size would see him through. Were you aware of those comments beforehand, Liam?
Nah, I didn't know that till I watched the fight back with the commentary, but I knew that's what they're thinking anyway. That's what I'd be thinking if I was like a man fighting someone who, like, if let's say I think he's like 24, 25, I was that age fighting an 18-year-old, then it's not him thinking it as well. Like, he has got physical advantages on me, obviously, but that doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't care about that. It's not all about that, is it? It's not like we're not weightlifting. It's not about just being like stronger and things like that. And I'm experienced as well. Like, I'm not just experienced as in I've had a lot of fights, because someone might have 8 fights and 8 first-round finishes. I've had fights where I've had to dig deep. I know that feeling. You know what I mean? I've finished people quick. I've been finished myself. I know what that's like. I've had to do 5 rounds. I've done a lot of things within my amateur career now where being experienced doesn't just mean I've had a lot of fights. That's not what it's about. Experience is like having experience, like certain moments in a fight and things like that, I think.
Yeah. And how did it feel to be crowned champion at the end?
That was the best. That was like probably one of the best nights of my life. That feeling, like, because he was like one of the most respected people as well. So like, it was a big win. No one would fight him. Like, when people see him knocking people out like that, he said like he couldn't get a fight. I was the only one who stepped up. So to get a win like that, where, you know, everyone like respected, it was a nice feeling. And people like, he's one of them names where you say, people like, yeah, it's a good win, that. So they're always the best wins to have. And I've got a few of them now. People like Curtis, Zach, where I can look back and be like, Justin as well, like good wins.
Yeah, would you say that's the best career win for you, Liam, so far?
Yeah, definitely. It's my favourite fight as well. It was like 5 rounds.
5 rounds.
There was nice moments striking, good moments grappling. Like, there was everything. You know
everything,
I mean?
Yeah. True that. And then I have to give it up to the sportsmanship shown by Corey, asking Jake if he could put the belt around your waist. That was classy. What did you think of that?
Yeah, he's a sound fella, Corey. You knew that going into it as well. Like, there was respect between us, even when I'd see him like at the weigh-ins and stuff like that. Like, I was sound with him anyway. So I think he said to me after the fight as well, like, he respected me a lot because it was the first time he felt like he'd been beaten properly. Like, his other fight that he'd lost, he felt like he fucked up, and like, which is probably true. Like, he'd get caught or something like that. Whereas he said with that, he felt like outskilled. So I was like, that's how it should be when you lose. You just gotta take it on the chin and shake the hand. Well done, innit?
Yeah, it was class. And I've also saw a picture of you two in the changing rooms.
Yeah, I had actually come into the back, had a good combo with him after him, and then that's when we started saying about coming down doing some training. Now every Friday he's down at our gym. He's like one of my main sparring partners now. When he comes down, I always get a few rounds with him. Good rounds as well. That's how it should be, though, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
there's no reason to be any animosity. It's amateur. I'm getting more. I've fought him now. I'm getting more out of using him to train. You know what I mean? I mean, but it's same for both of us.
Yeah, and vice versa.
So yeah, we might as well use each other now.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Good. So before we look at your flash fives, and as mentioned at the start of the show, Liam, you're currently getting ready to make that walk again soon. Do you want to share with the viewers who you'll be fighting and your take on your opponent, please?
Yeah. So 3 weeks today, 3rd of October, fighting on UKFC in Preston again. I'm going up a weight to lightweight, doing a champion versus champion fight. So I'm fighting the lightweight champion, Teddy Stringer. Good kid, like similar age to me. He's like another, like, he's almost like the me of that division, you know what I mean? Like, he's the young kid who's like, he's got the belts, people respect him. So I'm going up a way to fight him. He's a good opponent, Teddy, as well. I know him. I'm looking for, this is one of them fights where since I've found out about it, it's been motivated, training hard. So I'm looking forward to it. Not he is as well. I know when I went to Bahrain, both of us were on Team England. So we both got robbed in the first round as well. So we had a few little nights out and that together. So he's a good kid, but I'm going to have to get it, isn't he?
Yeah, well, you know, it's business, as they say.
That's it.
It's just business. That's all it is. And, you know, you mentioned you'll be moving up to lightweight to face Teddy at UKFC. And as a result, you've been doing a lot of strength and conditioning work with Dan Mitten. Do you want to share the kind of work you've been doing to bulk up, Liam?
Yeah, well, Dan's been like the big addition to my game. He's the person who I think is going to take me to the next level. Like, it's all good. Like, the thing about being skilled and that, I think that's the main thing, but you need that, like, physicality and that to back you. Like, if you look in the UFC, some of the fighters, like, you aren't that skilled, but they're making a career out of being, like, strong and things like that. So if you can combine the two, the skill and the physical work, which Dan's perfect with as well, like, he knows, like, he's, like, done, like, a nice program for this camp where I'm getting enough hours on the mat, but I'm also getting all my work in with him. So I do, like, he does everything, like, he's a movement coach as well as, like, he's doing all my strength and things like that as well. So 2 sessions a week I'm doing strength work and, like, plyo work, stuff like that. And then 1 day a week I'm doing movements as well, so, like, just stretching makes you feel good after it. So, but I just show up and do what he says. Like, I don't have a clue about it or me, but I'll just turn up and do it. But he knows what he's on about, and I'm seeing the differences as well. My body's changed a lot just through this one camp. I'm walking around it, like, I'm quite heavy at the minute. Not heavy for lightweight, but, like, I'm a good weight. But, like, usually if I'd be this weight, I'd be quite fat. So, like, if I was fighting a featherweight and I'd be this weight, I'd be quite, like, I'd just be out of shape really. But I'm that weight now and, like, in shape, fittest I've been. So it's nice. Looking forward to showing everyone.
Yeah, I can see in the pictures you're really bulking up.
Big, aren't
I? Yeah, but bulking up in the right way.
Yeah, that's like, yeah. Like I said, I just leave it to them and listen to what they're saying. But eating things nice as well. Obviously, I'm able to, because I'm doing lightweight, I'm able to eat a lot nice. Looking forward to me next one at featherweight.
Sure. And has your diet changed much, or is it still pretty much the same?
Dieting's my worst thing, to be honest, out of everything. Like, I'm not very clued up, and obviously I know things, but, like, I'm a bit of a fat bastard, to be honest. But, like, I'm eating clean, but I'm eating a lot. But yeah, it's going nice. I can't wait to fight now. Like, feel good.
Sure. One thing at a time, I guess.
That's it.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for that, Liam. So, for anyone not familiar, Liam, I will ask you 5 questions, and once again, you just give me your best answer.
Yeah.
Okay. So, number 1, Liam, who would you love to compete against, either dead or alive?
Jake Grundy. Money fight, isn't he?
Jake Grundy, yeah? Fair enough. Your ideal way to finish an opponent?
Still waiting for this one. Big knockout. I don't care what it's with, but it's coming as well. Like, I'm feeling in the gym now. I'm hitting a lot harder, especially, like, now I'm going up a weight and I'm becoming a man now. That's what Dan's saying when I'm doing the sessions. Like, this is man making, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel it when I'm sparring. People will tell you as well. When I'm hitting the air, I'm starting to hear people. So that's defo coming. Nice knockout.
Nice. The best combat sports fight you've seen, Liam?
Diego Sanchez versus Gilbert Melendez. Probably not the best, not technical, like, but that was my favourite fight I remember when I was a kid. It was like a sick little highlight video of it on YouTube. I used to always watch that. That was probably the most exciting fight I've seen.
Yeah, and I think he's fighting tonight, Diego Sanchez.
Is he?
He's still fighting. Yeah. He's still fighting, man, taking those shots and giving some as well. What superpower would you choose to have, Liam?
1 punch knockout power. Don't have that, but it'll come one day, hopefully.
Okay. And finally, Liam, the best finish to a fight you've seen?
Like, in the UFC, I'd probably say Yair Rodriguez when he fought the Korean Zombie, just because, like, how it went and that. But then probably one of my teammates, Sheldon. Have you ever seen that knockout, Sheldon Reed, when he done a seat to the face?
Yeah.
But, like, local, definitely that, and then just circumstance-wise, probably the Yair one.
Nice answers. Perfect. Thank you very much for that, Liam. So that brings us to the end of the show. How did you find the experience overall?
That was good, mate. Enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it? Good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it too. Well, and I hope you viewers enjoyed it and enjoyed hearing Liam speak. And I'd like to thank everyone for joining Liam and I on episode 11 of Flash Knockdown. And as Bruce Buffer says, the show that engages with people of the combat sports world. Thank you, everyone. And thank you to Liam.
Nice one, mate. Thank you.
Thank you, Liam. Thank you.